All right, let's get into some SDR readiness for tech sales. Now, if you've just hopped into this video, no context, I'm guessing you're probably an SDR or moving into an SDR role. Just quick intros and the context around this video. So my name's Joe. I run this channel. I'm also the founder of Tech Sales U. And essentially, what I'm doing with this series of videos is getting you prepared to step into an SDR role. I've spent over 12 years in tech sales. I've worked at Gartner, CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and a number of other organizations. I've had incredible amounts of success as both within inside sales roles and also within field sales roles within, from an SDR standpoint, from a SMB account executive standpoint, and a commercial and enterprise account executive standpoint. So I've sort of seen that full gamut. So the whole goal of this series is just a bunch of videos. I think there's about 10 of them that I should film. All of that will be in a playlist in the description bio below. So if you want to see that full playlist, I recommend you do that. Just go binge watch it. And that should hopefully get you ready or in the right direction. Now, a lot of this content is based off a lot of the mentoring work that I do within my mentoring community. So I try to give a lot of that to you. There is some stuff that I'm not able to cover, however, just because it's reserved for people in my community, or it's just too long, right? There's some stuff that I kind of need to actually work with you to cover. So I've done the best that I can to give you as much of what I can, okay? Now, the focus for this video is just to set the scene. I'm going to go into a lot of technical detail. I'm going to go into a lot of stuff around, how do you actually do prospecting, multi-threaded prospecting, triples, how to run discoveries and kind of, start to qualify deals for your account executive, right into stuff around sales process. So there's plenty that I'm going to cover in terms of SDR capabilities that you'll need, but I just want you to hang with me on this video because this is a scene setter. A lot of people want to jump straight into the hardcore content and they forget to look at the scene setting content, and then a lot of stuff doesn't make sense for them later, right? So being an SDR 101, also, let's just get rid of that. I'm very rustic in my videos, by the way. So like if I see something I need to edit it, I'll literally just do it. And I'm probably not even going to edit it out on the video. So I just tend to one take these. So hope you don't mind. Now, there's some key points that I want to cover. Firstly, mindset. Yes, I am going to be that guy, and I am going to talk to you very briefly around mindset because there's a lot of things that people miss when they step into SDR roles. Firstly, your main job is to learn. Your second job, or actually kind of primarily with that main job of learning, is to book meetings, right? Like I see so many SDRs complicate this, and I'm like, hey, it's not a complicated job, right? This isn't rocket science. It's absolutely not rocket science. Being an AE sometimes can feel like rocket science, but being an SDR is not rocket science, okay? So learn, book meetings, and have tons of focused energy. That's literally it, right? Like if we're talking about energy, I just mean hustle. Be visible and be hustling, right? That's literally what you're paid to do, is to be visible and to be hustling. Learn to become a prospecting machine. And I'll talk about a lot of this in the videos subsequently, where I talk about things like multi-threaded prospecting, triple sequences, how to do your setup for prospecting. This is so critical, and I'll include tools as well so you can access that stuff, okay? Build the skill of dependability. Holy shit, this is so important, okay? SDRs that are dependable, that are consistent, are the ones that end up getting promoted the quickest, right? Like your team, your account executives, your management, they love dependable, consistent SDRs. There's nothing better than that, okay? Become ruthlessly efficient by mastering operating rhythm. I will talk to you about what operating rhythm is in a few videos, but essentially what you need to become really good at is running very effective weeks, right? Your calendar, how you structure your calendar, how you execute on your calendar. Like this is so critical, and I'll talk to you in depth about this. Knowing your golden numbers, right? What numbers do you need to be hitting on a weekly basis, right? So I will include a calculator when I get to that video talking about your golden numbers, but typically your golden numbers will be somewhere between 2 and 4 meetings booked a week. If you're an SDR, you should be doing close to 8 meetings booked a week. If you think that's a lot, that is not a lot. When I was an account executive at CrowdStrike, I would book on average 3 to 4 new meetings a week while still being one of their top performing account executives with one of the largest pipelines in the team consistently, right? Like, I did a lot of fucking work, and the reason I was able to do that is because I was really efficient. And I was able to consistently generate pipeline as an account executive. I had an SDR and I would often be out booking my own SDR, okay? I'm not saying that to flex. I'm saying that because, like, if you think that like 4 meetings is a lot as an SDR, like, no, it's not. Your entire job is just to book meetings. You should be able to consistently book 4 to 8 meetings a week as an SDR, okay? Become a master of understanding pain and positioning your product to address this pain, okay? This is super critical. So what I mean by this is you need to have a very, very, very clear understanding of the pain points of your customers, okay? So a lot of people that step into SDR roles think that they need to get good at pitching product. That's not the case. You do need to be able to pitch. That is important. You do need to be able to do whiteboards. That is important. But you need to get really, really, really fucking good at listening to people's pain points, right? So if they start talking to you about specific things in their environment, in their organization, you need to be able to go, yeah, like, I understand what that is. I know what that pain point is, and I know that we can help, and here's how we can help, right? So starting to become a master of understanding pain, super critical. Becoming a market champion. What I mean by that is you got to start understanding the market that you're in as well, right? So if you're in cybersecurity, you want to start to broadly understand the cybersecurity ecosystem. You want to start to understand network security, endpoint security, cloud security, SASE, DLP, traditional perimeter controls versus, next gen controls, right? When we're starting to talk about environments that are dispersed, like, you want to really start to become a champion of the market that you're in. And that is going to be really useful for when you step into becoming an account executive, because you're just going to sound different. You're going to sound more knowledgeable. You want to start building an online brand through original content. Don't be a LinkedIn robot. Don't be that annoying SDR that's just like reposting stuff off the company page, right? Like, that's not useful or value adding to anyone. Become AE ready. This is so critical. And I lay out a plan in terms of your game plan for your first full year as an SDR. I'll talk to you in depth about this, right? Where I literally map out the skills and I map out the game plan. But if you're moving into an SDR role, you want to spend no longer than 1 year in an SDR role, and you want to be ready to move into a SMB account executive position. And for any of you that think, oh my God, like, that's too quick, like, I can't do that. It is only now that people are staying in SDR roles for like 2.5 years. That is total bullshit. You should not be an SDR longer than 1 year. If you do it right, you can be an SDR for 1 year and then move into an account executive position, whether it's in your company or another company. So, and I'll talk to you about how to get that promotion. That is a video in this series, okay? Anyways. So becoming AE ready, super critical. Within the first 12 months, you want to become AE ready. You want to be able to run discoveries, continue being very high level in your prospecting, being very effective. You want to start to learn your sales process. You want to start to understand elements of that sales process and different stages of that sales process for your organization. Meaning, what does a demo look like versus what does a discovery look like versus a go, no go meeting versus a trial or a proof of value. You want to understand the closing process. You really want to start seeing some exposure across the end-to-end sales cycle. So once you step into an AE role, things aren't new to you, okay? But these are all critical things when it comes to being an SDR, right? This is SDR 101. Now, I'm going to talk to you in depth about on the next video. I'm going to talk to you about the full game plan for your first year as an SDR. So we'll dive into this and I'll map out the skills, and then we'll start going into these individual skills as part of this readiness series. Okay. If that was useful, thumbs up, comment, all the good stuff. Follow along as well. I do a lot of content for any of you that are stepping from SDR into SMB account executives. I've got a separate playlist for that. I will probably include that in the description down below as well. So go and binge watch that. If you need any additional help, book a call with me. Let's have a chat. But I'll see you on the next one.